Egypt was a British protectorate after the Great War, but in 1922, Britain declared Egyptian independence. Britain remained heavily influential in Egyptian politics. During the Second World War, Egypt was a British base for the fighting in North Africa. Redding was a medical sergeant at a hospital in Cairo. He was approached by smugglers to accompany truckloads of illicit whiskey. His uniformed presence meant that local Egyptian police would not search the trucks. He was paid about £20,000. He was caught, reduced in rank, and sentenced to 2 years in a military prison. Most of the money was confiscated by the Crown. When Redding was released, he demanded the return of the money. If the money was dirty and it wasn't appropriate for him to keep it, then how was it appropriate for the Crown to keep it? The Crown responded that Redding had been a fiduciary and the money was therefore a secret profit which should be returned to the principal. Crown and military officer was not one of the established fiduciary relationships. Was this a relationship which was fiduciary on the facts? The court really had to stretch the concept to say yes. Lord Justice Asquith said, "A fiduciary relation exists whenever the plaintiff entrusts to the defendant property and relies on the defendant to deal with such property for the benefit of the plaintiff or for purposes authorised by him and not otherwise, and whenever the plaintiff entrusts to the defendant a job to be performed." In this specific case, the fiduciary duty was created when the Crown gave Redding the authority inherent in his uniform. His Lordship said, "A uniform is in one aspect a physical object, but it is also the vehicle of certain intangible adjuncts, authority, prestige, immunities of various kinds. It carries with it facilities for imparting a veneer of officialism and legality to transactions which, without its imprimatur, would arouse suspicion." These facilities Redding sold. Redding consciously used his uniform to disarm the suspicions of the Egyptian police, to divert their suspicion from what he must have known to be an illegal enterprise in the traffic in drugs or drink, and he made a fortune by doing so. Whether there really was a fiduciary relationship or not, this case stands as authority that if a fiduciary makes a secret profit, even an illicit one, the profit belongs to the principal.